This is a comparison that it must be done. Nikon Zf versus Sony A7C or A7C Mark II. It doesn't matter too much because we have two full frame cameras with a very different form, and I like one more than the other, but one I feel it's more practical than the other. So let's talk about this now. Hi there, Tudor Matescu here. I just want to make in this video a comparison between Sony A7C, a full frame camera that I still recommend today. If you don't want to spend the money on Sony A7C Mark II, still Sony A7C Mark I, it's ultra competent. And Nikon Zf, another full frame camera. They have similar sensor size and they are both full frame cameras. They both focus very fast regarding AF, and regarding image quality, they both have great image quality, I would add, but I will enter into more details at image quality and AF. But overall, we don't have such big differences regarding image quality. But regarding image quality, there is a discussion here. In a way, they are similar, but in another way, another camera, it is better, I would say, than the other camera. It really depends. But let's see first what are my opinions regarding the handling of these two cameras. So very interesting. Now having Nikon Zf regarding handling in hand, I do feel that Sony A7C has better handling. You have here on Sony A7C a great grip. You have a great grip, and this grip is doing a huge difference here. I would even add that Sony lineup, the rangefinder lineup, has a great grip to it. The Sony A6400 and so on, the APS-C series. So great grip. We don't have these grips on Fujifilm, and unfortunately, we don't have this grip on Nikon Zf. Okay, I get it, retro looking. Is this grip a bummer or not? From my point of view, it's not a bummer if you'll add this thumb grip that I found on AliExpress, link in my comments and description. This is the best way to go to have a nice thumb grip on your Nikon Zf. But the problem with Nikon Zf and why you still need a grip from my point of view is that the camera, it is pretty big, chunky, and to make it more balanced in your hand, I would say that you need a grip, especially if you'll use bigger lenses like Nikon Z 85mm f1.8, 35mm f1.4, f1.8, and so on. With small pancake light lenses like 40mm f2, like Viltrox 28mm f4.5, like Nikon Z26, and so on, it's okay. But when you have a bigger lens, you really need to add a grip to this camera to have it more balanced, or use it with two hands. Anyway, my idea is that Sony is beating lots of cameras when it comes to the grip. And this is huge. This is huge deal because I can put any lens, small, medium sized or big, and I don't need to add a grip or a thumb grip. For me, this is huge because this means I can keep the footprint of the camera small and light. This isn't the case with Nikon Zf. Nikon Zf already has a weight to it, and adding a grip, it will make it more heavier and more bulkier. But don't get me wrong, I'm really liking this bulk, but not as an everyday carry. So as an everyday carry, I've really tried to make this work, but I still can't do it. I still can't do it. For everyday carry, I really love smaller cameras like Ricoh GR, like X106, and even like Sony A7C with 35mm f2.8 lens. But I have here, for the sake of the comparison, the Viltrox 40mm f2.5. But Sony A7C with 35mm f2.8, it's very compact, very small, very easy to take, and also with 28mm f2. But we will talk more at the lenses part. Next point that I must address, it's the EVF. How is the EVF? Well, the EVF of Sony A7C, it is bad when we are looking at the EVF of Nikon Zf. It is bad, but it's not so bad in real world use. So if you don't compare and don't whine too much, it's okay. It's okay. It's doing the job. It's not as bad as Lumix GX9 EVF that at this present day, it's really old. But it will do the job. But the EVF of Nikon Zf, it is stellar EVF. It's a pleasure to use this camera with the EVF. It is the best EVF that I've used in my life. By the way, if you want to make better photos, you must know that it's not about the gear. It's about composition. It's about light. It's about seeing with your eyes and pre-visualizing the picture. So for this, I've recently launched a course with my techniques to get better pictures. So if you want to learn to make better pictures and especially composition, why not join my photography academy? To get access to my course, you must be subscribed to my channel and join my membership photography academy level. When you'll have that level, you'll have access to my street photography composition course, where I show you how I am making the pictures and where I teach you how to make the same picture. So I'm telling you why a picture is good and why it's working and why I've decided to keep it in color or to keep it in black. So you learn lots of tips and techniques if you are joining the membership program. And more than that, joining my membership, it means that any premium course that I will launch, you'll have access to it. So join now my TM Photography Academy by subscribing to my channel and hit the join button from YouTube. Now regarding the screen. Yes, the screen of Nikon Zf, it is stellar screen. Even in very sunny days, the screen, it's mind-blowing how good it is. The Sony screen, unfortunately, bad, very bad. So this is a problem from my point of view with all the Sony cameras out there, especially the screen. I think it's unacceptable that on even better cameras like Sony A7C, Sony A7CII, from my point of view, a better camera because you have lots of megapixels there, you have a bad screen for sunny weather. So the screens are very bad on the Sony cameras, and this screen, it's a stellar screen. The colors, the resolution, it's very easy to see this screen in any lighting condition. Very important, very easy to see the screen. So anyway, let's keep this story short regarding ergonomics. And what you get on Nikon Zf, it is 10 out of 10, and this is half from my point of view when I'm thinking about Nikon Zf ergonomics. Again, just ergonomics. Battery life, I would say that it's similar. Ibis, this is another point that I must address. I have here an Ibis that I am able to see that it's really working. So I have an Ibis that it's really working. Here I feel that I don't have any Ibis. Maybe it's doing something, but it's not clear for me what it's doing, this Ibis. But this is visible. It really helps you shoot this camera. So great point here. More than that, I can shoot this camera with electronical shutter and I don't get bending. Huge deal here. Sony can't do this, or it can, but very hard. I can shoot RAW files and JPEG files with touch to shoot and I don't get any bending. I've shot even subjects, fast moving subjects on a bicycle and I didn't get any bending. Huge deal here. So better regarding street photography if you want the most silent mechanical shutter. And if we are at this chapter, the shutter, the mechanical shutter and the electronical shutter, huge surprise, the ZF shutter, mechanical shutter, it's very silent, very pleasing. It's like a leaf shutter. It's amazing. It will not disturb at all. It's inviting you to shoot it and to shoot it. But on Sony, the mechanical shutter, it has an artificial sound from my point of view that it's ruining all the pleasure of shooting this camera for me. I still want to get accustomed with the sound of the mechanical shutter, but I can't. I really can't for the moment. This is ruining the experience for me on Sony A7C for street photography and for everyday photography. I've got used a little. I'm not saying I didn't get used, but overall, again, when you hear this mechanical shutter, I think it's one of the best mechanical shutter out there. It is at the level for my liking of Fujifilm X Pro 3 and X-T5 that also has a very silent and nice mechanical shutter. So a great sound of the mechanical shutter. Here a horrible sound of the mechanical shutter, and this could be a deal breaker if you are a street photographer and want a silent camera. Now let me address the lenses, and after this the image quality. On Nikon Zf, unfortunately we do not have many small lenses and light lenses. We have something that will cover us, and I've reviewed those lenses on my channel. So we have the 40mm f2, we have the 28mm f2.8 and the 26mm f2.8 from Nikon Z. We have the Viltrox 50mm f2 Air lineup, that it's a great lens and it's a lens that you must have it. And also we have Yongnuo 85mm f1.8 and 35mm f2 that are pretty small for what they are, pretty small. But overall the package, yes, it is bigger when we are looking at Sony. On Sony we have many Sony lenses that are metal built, that are focusing fast, that have great image quality, but also light budget lenses from Viltrox and other manufacturers that also are focusing fast. And we have many lenses with aperture rings from Sigma, TT Artisan, Viltrox and so on. But also we have some Viltrox lenses for Nikon Zf with aperture ring from what I know. But overall regarding lenses on Sony we are staying better, and especially if you want a small package. So with this you'll be guaranteed that you'll have a small full frame camera on lots of focal lenses. Very important. And light, so small and light. This will guarantee you a small light portable full frame camera. This will not guarantee you this. I feel that this package is at the limit for my liking, and I really like it even smaller, probably with the 26mm f2.8. Smaller than that for what I have now, it is with the Viltrox 28mm f4.5, and I really liked that package and I'm really liking that package, but unfortunately it's a fixed aperture package. So this is why I'm targeting in the future a 26mm f2.8 for this combo. But overall the combo remains big. Now let me address the image quality. I would say that the image quality, it really depends. For my liking, I feel that the image quality for Nikon Zf, it is a little better than the Sony A7C image quality and the Sony cameras, especially in RAW files and also in JPEG files, but I do feel a special rendering, how I've said, a medium format look, because I think of the Nikon Z mount that it's bringing the lens closer to the sensor. So all the images have lots of texture, lots of structure, lots of clarity, lots of fine details. So anyway, the images are brighter, the portraits are sharper, they are coming out from the picture. It's easier with any lens to get this on Nikon Z. So regarding image quality, from my point of view, this is 10 out of 10. Sony A7C is still very good, don't get me wrong, it's ultra good also, but I do feel that here we have a little advantage also regarding skin tones. If you are a portrait photographer or an event wedding photographer, you don't want to waste time with the skin of the people, and this is delivering good skin tones, very important. This also is delivering okay, very okay RAW files and great black and white files. I don't know if that even better, because I have better lenses, is not clear yet for me. So I do feel that the dynamic range, it is better, but overall this for everyday photography, it will render more powerful images and straight out of the camera. With Sony A7C you can take the RAW files wherever you want, and I do recommend use cobalt profiles with Fujifilm color if you want the Fujifilm look on your Sony files. And yes, with Fujifilm colors and with a specialty lens, you'll get amazing pictures, amazing portraits. You'll really get what you want. So I can't say that one is much under the other. Both are really great, but with this I do feel that I have an advantage. So if I put here a lens, the Yongnuo 85mm f1.8 lens, mind-blowing. How that lens is rendering straight from the camera, colors, subject to background separation, and the sharpness of the subject, it's mind-blowing. And also this is happening, how I've said, with many other lenses. So I don't think it's just about the lenses, I really do think that it's about the Nikon Z sensor and the Nikon Z mount and all what Nikon is doing here. So really loving what Nikon is doing with the image quality. So overall, yes, you have here a little better advantage regarding dynamic range. If dynamic range is ultra important for you, but if you want more CD pop, more sharpness, more micro contrast, better colors, a better cut, a better 3D pop, a better Zeiss Leica looking, this is the way to go. And also you can adapt very nice and very easily Leica M mount lenses and to shoot it with an AF adapter that I really want to add in the future. Now, one important thing to add is that Nikon improved the firmware like Fujifilm was doing back in the days very well. So I have here a nice AF point with a sick border that I can see easily. I have many custom controls. They've repaired the punch in zoom. So you lightly press the button and you'll exit from that punch in zoom. You have great manual focusing controls now with IAF and all the tidbits there. And this, it becomes my #1 favorite camera when it comes to manual focusing lenses, because in one of my videos where I compared cameras that can manual focus very well, I put Sony on the first place. But now Nikon repaired those bad implementations and now this is working very, very well. Now in conclusion, which is my preferred one? Well, it's very hard for me in the moment to choose one or another. Let's take it like this. In the camera bag, this is as portable as a Fujifilm camera. This is as portable as a Sony camera. But when you want to incorporate this in your daily life, so take this camera, put it on the table, have it on your shoulder, being so big, it is possible to bump it or this camera will bump into you. So it's pretty hard to incorporate this as a daily camera. Put it there and don't worry, it is big. It is very hard for me to incorporate this camera in my daily activities. Also, maybe I want to be more invisible some days and I don't want a camera that will attract attentions too much. So for daily carry, I wasn't able to incorporate Nikon Zf in my workflow. So I'm not using it for daily carry, and also I wasn't able to take this camera when I decided to go for a street photography walk because it is big and I don't have a tilt screen, by the way, and at that moment Fujifilm X-T50 and Fujifilm X106 are winning the game. But getting back to the full frame cameras and to Sony, well, this is where Sony, from my point of view, is winning. The only downside for the Sony camera regarding daily carry, it is the shutter sound. So if you can get over the shutter sound, here you have a true package, portable, full frame camera. Take it with you, travel with you. And again, I'm really feeling I don't have stress in my hand now holding Sony A7C compared to Nikon Zf. This grip is helping a lot. The weight, this camera, it is lighter, it's helping a lot. The lenses are helping a lot. This is 28mm f2 lens. Look how nice and easy it's this package. The image quality from this package, it's mind-blowing. So yes, Sony A7C, it's winning for daily carry, but with one condition: if you are okay with the sound of that mechanical shutter. And again, I wasn't able to be 100% okay with that sound of the mechanical shutter. I still try to get used to it, but this didn't happen yet. And how I've said, I've tried to shoot this camera in electronical shutter, and yes, with some settings you can make it work, but not as easy as the Nikon Zf camera. So this is why I am going to other cameras for daily carry, because they have better ergonomics in the end. Of course, I would have wanted a full frame camera, but it seems that we don't have that full frame camera. Sony is ultra close to do it. Just get rid of the artificial mechanical sound and put a tilt screen on your Sony A7C lineup, and you will have the perfect street photography daily carry camera. But unfortunately, they don't do this. I don't know why, but this is it. So overall, yes, Sony, it is more portable, but also if you want better JPEGs, better ergonomics, Nikon has them. So in conclusion, I need to get used to the size and the weight of Nikon Zf and being comfortable to hit this camera, let's say, or get used to the sound of the mechanical shutter of Sony A7C. For the moment, what I can say is that in real world practice, I am keeping Sony A7C in my studio for product photography, and for street photography, I'm going towards Nikon. So I'm not going towards Sony, even if if it is lighter, better AF by the way, it has the AF a little better, and it's more practical how I've said. So overall, for street photography on paper is doing a better job, being, how I said, lighter, grip, better AF, great dynamic range. But no, for street photography, I'm still going to Nikon Zf, and I still want to incorporate better Nikon Zf in my workflow. But for the moment, this is my adventure with these two full frame cameras. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe now to my channel, hit the like button, leave me your comments, use my affiliate links if you want to buy something from the gear that I'm using, link in the comments and description. And what is free and it's helping this channel to grow, it is to watch the next videos. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.